What's up guys, Frankie here. In this video I want to show you the secret so that you can do something once and get paid 2 times. A very wise mentor of mine said, well buddy, I like doing things that I can do once and get paid for again and again. And when you start to get paid again and again, there's a magic thing that starts to happen is you worry far less about money. You have the ability to say no to things that are no longer a fit. In fact, you can get into yourself in a fuck you position where you only do things that you want to do, things that are a hell yes to you. You get to be the chooser and the selector, and you never get to be bent over by clients. And I think 99% of the people in our digital marketing space miss this, and I want to give you guys the secret of it today, which is going to be the subject of book 2, by the way, which I have been working on in secret. It has not been released yet, but it is coming out soon. We're working on the topic of passive automated recurring income. Let's get that out right. So anyways, let's dive into you doing stuff once and setting up compound money that goes for you into the future long after you've put in the initial effort. All right, you want to do something once, get paid again? I'll tell you what not to do first. And let's talk about how most poor people get paid and kind of how they approach this whole business model. Let's draw a poor person. This is a person, he's going to look kind of sad, down and out because he ain't making any money. So here is how most poor people approach the subject of making money. Firstly, is usually they're very short-term thinking. Think about how do I get enough money to the weekend? And usually, like when I was poor, I was thinking about getting drunk on the weekend, and that was about it. If I had enough money to get drunk and pay my bills, I was winning at life, but I wasn't on the long-term savings plan or anything like that. And what I was looking for in a way to earn money was really just anything that would kind of pay the bills, just some kind of job, whatever is the least shitty job available to me that I don't have to work too hard for and commit my life to. That is how most poor people do it. Now, when we talk about middle-class people, they have a different prerogative. Usually middle-class people are after a salary. Usually you hear things like, I want a benefit, I want a mortgage, and some cars, and some nice trappings around it. But obviously those of you guys who are in that world still, and those of you guys who've graduated from it, know what I'm talking about when I say that's a real fucking prison. Driving in traffic, going to some bullshit you don't like, putting in 40 hours a week, and being trapped by the clock, and often having, at least like I did, pointless meetings and bullshit along the way. And so when you're working for middle class, you're asking for a salary. And by the way, most people in our digital marketing space are asking for a salary. You'll see agency owners in particular, and consultants and coaches and people like this, they'll say, I want a set amount of money first before anything happens. And that's a salary. That's how middle class earn their living. So what I want for you guys is to graduate into the space of the rich/wealthy, where you start to get paid. And the way you get paid is from what you own and what you control. So, for example, this used to be very, very obvious to me in the real world, but I struggled with it for a lot of years digitally. And the richest guy I know back home from my hometown of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, shout out to the Dirty Dub, is a guy named Franco. He might be dead. He was 80 years old and I haven't seen him for 10 years, but he was the richest guy I know because he owned 7 apartment buildings and a golf course. And the reason why he was the richest guy I knew is because he owned 7 apartment buildings and a golf course, right? His wealth was not generated from what he was doing. It was generated from what he owned. In this case, buildings and a golf course. Well, I didn't realize for about 10, 15 years, and this is going to be the subject of book 2, which I think will blow some of your minds, is that all of this applied digitally. I'll give you a real life example of this is the way you make money as a rich person is you make deals and you acquire things. You don't do it from selling things. You acquire things that are worth money and then sell them later, whether that be companies or whether that be stocks, whether that be crypto or whether that be a business and all kinds of things of that nature. Well, I'll give you an example of this. A good friend of mine, Luke, I was talking to him and he said, I asked him how he was doing with some motorcycle case stuff he had been running for personal injury lawyers. And he had been selling this Facebook ad service for $2,500 a month. And I met him at a bunch of the conferences and we would see each other, bump into each other every weekend or so. And I asked him how it was going and he said, actually, we're not using it anymore. And so I recognized that this is a digital asset. It's worth something. And the way to know if it's a digital asset really is in simple terms, would other people pay money to have access to this thing? In this case, the obvious answer was yes. And so I said, would you be willing to sell that to me? And I said, what would you want for it? And he said, could we just do like a per client deal? And I said, yeah, that's fine. What do you want? So he went off and came back to me after and said, I want $450. And then he said to me, which is some of the awesome part about acquisition, is he said, actually, there's 2 people who've been asking me for this service and I've been telling them no, but I'm telling them now that I'm selling it to you and you can do it for them. So he handed me $5,000 worth of clients, and I had to pay him $900 as his sort of referral fee or commission, which I would have paid somebody like Facebook. And that is an example of acquiring an asset. Most people think that what they're working for is a client paying you $2,500 a month. But if you own the digital system that's worth money, you can rent that over and over and over and over again. And that is the magic of digital stuff. So whenever you're doing the do once, get paid twice, in poor and middle class, you're trading effort in some form for money. Usually, if you're doing it when you're poor, you're giving the least amount of effort. If you're middle class, there is at least some fighting spirit where you give a shit about your job and you at least try until your boss makes your life miserable, and then one day you go crazy and quit, or you make it till retirement, whichever comes first. When you're rich, you want to be rich from the things you own and control, which means the value is not you, it is not your expertise, it's not anything you do, it is a digital tool that you are controlling and leasing. And there's all kinds of these, and if you guys are interested, drop a comment below, because I'd love to teach you more about which digital assets are worth money, how to use them, how to cash flow them, and how to set it up so that once you acquire it, you can use it once and have it compound in the background. Like one Facebook ad system that's $2,500 a month that people are paying for, you can compound and compound, and there's only like 12,000 systems like that you can acquire. And that's just one example of one asset class, of which there are many other ones, at least 6, which we're writing about in the next book. So if you guys are interested in that, drop a comment below and I will make more videos about that. If you're not interested, then fuck that shit. Don't say anything and I will not make more about this. But I think it's one of those coolest things that once you guys do, it sets you up so that your income continues to grow without your ongoing effort. And there's something really magical about that. I say that, like, for example, part of the reason I'm so obsessed with making videos, besides that I love you guys, is that these are digital assets. Digital me is working 24/7 while my ass is asleep hanging in bed with my kids. People are still watching these videos at 3 in the morning and 5 in the morning and things like that. And so digital you can be continuously delivering value in the world, and your income can be described from the value that the digital tools and processes and things that you own. So I hope that example kind of illustrates the point, but that is the power of thinking like a rich person, and you're making deals. And I would love to show you guys how to put together some of those deals. But let me know in the comments if you're interested, and that's all I got for this video. Much love, and may the force be with you, and make sure to subscribe.
Guys, if you like this video, you're also going to want to grab some free bonuses, which you can get at our website, Beyond Agency Profits. To make it easy for you, I've put the links to it in the description of this video, as well as pinned in the top comment. And we've got a couple of awesome things. This is what you'll get after you sign up. You get some of our best training, how we're closing clients over Loom videos, how we sometimes sign clients that is not a misprint for under $5 US, how to demonstrate your value in like amazing ways, trainings, how to have your clients write the best copy of your life, how we're closing without phone calls, campaigns that we've generated for clients that have done over $100,000, as well as scripts you can use to get conversations going with clients in under 10 minutes. All you got to simply do is go there, enter your name and email address, and then this is what you'll see on the other side. So if that's interesting to you, make sure to click the links below, and I will see you on the other side.